Hi and welcome to this Hoop Plus Fit video. I'm Scarlett and today we're going to learn how to do a one-handed isolation. So ideally you want to have a hoop that you feel comfortable using in one hand. That's probably going to be something quite light. My hoop here is 80 centimeters in diameter with a 20mm thickness tubing. So I would say that the first step for an isolation is first to be able to get a two-handed isolation. If you don't know how to do that yet, you can check out my video on that. If you do, then great, and let's get going. So for the one-handed isolation, the theory is quite similar. You want to start with your hand up at the top, your wrist facing you, and then take your hand across the body. Now we're imagining that we have a clock here and we're taking it from 12 down over to 3 or 9, depending on which hand you're using. A good way to keep a good strong grip is to use your thumb on the hula hoop. So using your thumb to create a really strong grip here. If you're finding that your hoop is going all over the place, you can also train your hand and your arm and your wrist so you can hold the hoop flat to the side and down without it falling down. So that's a great way to train your arm and your wrist to get a really nice good strength here. So you want to practice taking it up from 12 to 6, and then for the one-handed isolation you want to take your hand to the point where it starts to feel uncomfortable. You realize that it's not going to work anymore. It's not going to turn around in the direction of the hoop anymore. For me, that's about 8 or 4. And then at that point, you have to lift your hand up. I'm just going to hold this in place for now. So you lift your hand up and you maintain connection with the hula hoop ever so slightly until you're able to grip it with your wrist facing up again. So for this, it's quite nice to play with the speed, so you can make it fast and then slow it down and then fast again. And the most important advice that I can give you is to look through the hoop and not at the hoop. I can show you, for example, as I start to look at where my hand is going, it's making the whole thing go quite wonky. So looking through the hoop, you get a kind of like vision of the whole entire hoop through the periphery of your vision, and there you're able to make a better judgment on how to keep the hoop stable. So this maintaining the contact of the hoop might take a while to practice, and the most important thing is to think about where your arm is in space. A lot of people, when they try isolations, end up going into a hand hooping kind of movement, and this you have to realize and really remember that it is your arm that is doing the work. You want to keep your arm straight and strong and really taking it down, keeping it straight from your shoulder, maintaining a really strong grip on the hula hoop until you change over. So how do we get into this move? You can go to it from a simple hand hooping, grab onto the hoop and then take it into your isolation. But if your hoop is moving around, maybe you go up from a escalator and then you take it down, and essentially what you really need to do is you need to get the hand that you're working inside the hoop. So as I have my hands here, I'm going to maintain the hoop with my left hand until I get my right hand in the right position. So you can go from a quick escalator and then down into your isolation, which is super nice. And then what can we do from here? Well, another lovely thing to do is to go into an isopop. If you don't know how to do an isopop, you can check out my next video on that. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you from Hoop Plus Fit.